Number 1 is the plain Janes. No, it's not laser time. Mommy's doing something. The plain Janes. These women, while typically willing to mind their own business, are unfortunately built off of a large sub-demographic of women that are pick-me's and grape apologists. These are the I don't talk to other women because they don't have enough substance women, while also lacking substance themselves. It's not laser time. It's not laser time. This is why I didn't want to do this until you went to sleep. Number 2, the faux plain Janes. These women typically wear however many millimeter eyelashes, long weave or braid extensions, and lip gloss, while referring to themselves as all natural and unenhanced, as they, in between these statements, go and put on more tinted moisturizer. These women are worse than the plain Janes because the plain Janes actually mean what they say. They're plain, and they, for the most part, enjoy it. Then you have number 3. This is the most distinctive and the cattiest, and my least favorite. The boneless eyeshadow broad. Boneless eyeshadow broad loves to tell you things like, I used to wear makeup here all the time, but I got tired of doing it. Or, don't you think that's a little much? Or, you don't really need makeup, as if anyone does. These women do decide to pop out in their typical, uninspiring, unfashionable way. They do the following makeup look, which consists of only 3 types of makeup. Number 1, a monochromatic eyeshadow. A monochromatic eyeshadow. There's only one color, and it goes across their lid in a display that is unorganized and unintelligent. Consider it like a finger painting, but for grown-ass women, typically between the ages of 19 and 48. Spend the whole year making you feel bad about your makeup that you are actually good at and know how to do. And then when they pop out with this monochromatic eyeshadow, followed by the non-volumizing mascara that they got for general clearance, as well as a tacky lipstick that doesn't quite go with anything they have on or are wearing. They will spend the entire day negging you and or following you around so that you can compliment them on this uninspiring, unintelligent look, even though they have spent the entire better part of a year shitting on you for your well done, quality, non-monochromatic, and inspiring makeup. I hope this helps. The main problem that I have with Ashley Dalton haters is not the fact that they disagree. It's the fact that they actually absolutely agree, but refuse to acknowledge that. Let me tell you why. Women practicing any form of autonomy typically pisses people off. But there is a specific vitriol for Black women practicing their autonomy. Stay with me. When you wake up in the morning as a regular person, not an influencer, not a makeup artist, not an entrepreneur, a person with a regular 9 to 5, a person who gets attacked by women such as, what did I call them? Whatever. When you get attacked by the bad eyeshadow broads, when you're working retail, minding your business, and you look beautiful, and they walk up to you and say things such as, you look really tired. The reality is, these women are just as violent and just as hateful as male misogynists. However, they are given a pat on the back and a pass because they are, how do I put this? They are just seen as women who are straying from the norm. They are seen as women who uphold some type of moral superiority over the women who present themselves as wearing makeup. As a Black woman, everything that you do is seen as political or intentionally malicious or some subset of the two, right? And the other thing is that to put on makeup, right? Like I was saying, when you're not an influencer or you're not getting paid to do it in some way, it means that you woke up and you decided you wanted to have control over how you looked, and you modified that look according to your own wishes. This is autonomy. And the reason that I say these women are just as violent as any flaming misogynist male is the fact that they should not be this triggered by your autonomy, especially because they're doing the same that you're doing. That's what I don't get. The assaults that you whores have done on the self-esteem and the femininity of young Black women and Black women in general is a disgrace. And I resent you for it, because this is the reality. They don't give a about substance. If they did, they wouldn't gawk at me and call me weird when I pull out a book to read at work, okay? If they cared about substance, they would get their asses off of the internet and go do something for the real world. Anything. Even if they did it digitally and through the internet, they would provide these so-called platforms of substance that they actually want to see, or they would interact with the so-called substances, the so-called platforms of substance that they choose to ignore. If you want any clue as to who is responsible for the so-called baby mama epidemic that we have in the Black community, it's the women. Because your lack of respect and care for other women marginalizes and alienates them even more. Because we all know it's very easy to get attention from men. It's significantly more difficult to get anything that isn't negative out of a woman. It's very hard for another woman to muster up the kindness and the empathy to talk to you like you're somebody.
You know what I'm saying? So
how I think about it is you're not any woman.
Any woman?
You're not any woman. You're saying he can have any woman, but you're not any woman. That's how I would feel. So where you going, baby? Nowhere.
You can let that bitch jump in the swimming pool, she gonna be looking like, ugh, no. Oh, I don't wanna like say anything that's going to put anybody down. She ain't got no hair. God said he gonna smite the scalp of a haughty woman. You gotta love yourself at the, I don't know, girl, I've been drinking just a little bit, but you ain't gotta shave your legs, you ain't gotta paint your face, you don't gotta do all of this stuff. Do what you wanna do for yourself, cause I'm like,
so yeah. You guys set these women up for failure. And the other thing that I'm really pissed off about is the fact that you guys want to talk about substance. You want to talk about substance. There's a shortage of neurosurgeons. Do something about it. We could probably use more people talking about environmental racism. Read about it, do something about it. In 2020, when life was going to shit, were you guys on Facebook figuring out what type of horse you would have been in the 1800s or whatever other dumbass quizzes you were taking? Or were you going to neighborhoods encouraging people to get registered to vote, as well as leaving them information on how to do so?
Yeah, I date women for their bodies, but at least I'm honest about it. I don't buy them a copy of Catcher in the Rye and then lecture them with some 7th grade interpretation of how Holden Caulfield is some profound intellectual. He wasn't. He was a spoiled brat. And that's why you like him so much. He's you. God, you're pretentious. And you delude yourself by thinking you're some great writer, even though you're terrible. You know, I should have known Cheryl Tiegs didn't write me that note. She would have known there's no A in the word definite. And I think what I hate most about you is your textbook liberal agenda. How we should legalize pot, man. How big business is crushing the underclass. How homelessness is the biggest tragedy in America. Well, what have you done to help? I work down at the soup kitchen, Brian. Never seen you down there. You want to help? Grab a ladle.
No, you weren't. But you're so full of substance and you want to help the community. Yet somehow you're on the sides of TikTok and Instagram and YouTube that don't actually align with you. Isn't that interesting? Could it be that Ashley Dalton, like most of the other Black women you hate, popped up on your feed because, like most of the Black women you hate, were always on your radar? Interesting. Let's not ignore the fact that every time a Black girl is trying to be comfortable in her own skin and love her own natural hair and love what she's doing, you guys are the first ones to talk about it until it gets long, and then you want advice on how to take care of it. Or you will continue to be and double down on being a hater once her hair gets long with comments such as, ooh, I bet that takes a long time, or oh my god, I just don't see how you do it. I mean, I know it's gotta be rough with your texture and everything. Like I said, the assault that you have done on the self-esteems of young Black women and Black women in general is disgusting and it's unforgivable. And the reality is, we're not going to band together in cohesive harmony like other communities because we pedestalize other communities more than our own. Point blank, period. I don't care what y'all say. Every opportunity you get to shit on another Black woman or ignore another Black woman or to talk shit about another Black woman, you're gonna take it every single time. So why don't you do us all a favor and shut the up and actually step your cookies up and provide the so-called substance that our community needs? Because the reality is, when you tell a woman to try to look good for herself, because this is another... I apologize because I did get off track here, but it was my intention to say that encouraging women to look good for themselves also creates a situation where they may want to upgrade in other aspects and other areas of their lives. So encouraging a woman to look nice could boost her confidence. Boosting her confidence in one area can lead to a chain reaction where her confidence is boosted in other areas of her life, where she tries other things that she's always wanted to try, where she speaks to people that she's always wanted to speak to. So encouraging someone to upgrade their looks is not fundamentally something that is it doesn't have to be something that is surface level or what was the word homegirl used? Superficial. Sorry, I don't know why that word was evading me. But yeah, it doesn't have to be something that is inherently superficial. It can literally open the doors to other aspects of creativity, other aspects of inspiration. Things don't have to be so plain and black and white, but again, misogyny makes people view things that women do, especially when it comes to makeup, clothes, whatever. It always has this way of minimizing the relevance and the possibilities of these particular things, because they are seen as belonging to women, and everything that belongs to women is less important than other things. This is another talking point that the pick-me's always have about this is that my man likes me without makeup. Who the cares what apex predators like you with? She's not talking about how to get your local Dustie's attention. She's talking
Say something that's going to help people love themselves. It's all about loving yourself. You can't love if you're not eating healthy, and if you're not working out, you don't truly love yourself. If you don't truly love yourself, you can't truly love anybody else. It's impossible. Straight up impossible. So I don't want to like say anything that's going to put anybody down, but I just be feeling some type of way when people get on here and be like, oh my God, I look crazy right now. Oh my God, I feel like this. Oh my God, I'm doing skincare. If you're doing skincare, you're doing skincare. If you don't got no makeup on, you don't got no makeup on. Like, it is what it is. But if you truly love yourself, it doesn't matter what you look like. That bitch jump in the swimming pool, she gonna be looking like, ugh, no. It is what it is. But if you truly love yourself, it doesn't matter what you look like. She ain't got no hair. God said he gonna smite the scalp of a haughty woman.
It's so much that could be said about this particular portion, but I want to get into the humiliation fantasy that people always have about women. Because the very women she's supposed to be standing up for and empowering on a platform that, by the way, isn't about empowering yourself while playing. The very women that she's empowering, she's actually insulting. Because if you take a woman who has on makeup and you throw her in the swimming pool, quote unquote, which again is like, who's just out here plunging into swimming pools after putting on a full face? Like, what was the occasion? I don't understand that, why people always bring that up. And I understand what they're actually saying. It's just the principle of if you get wet. But you would think they could say, like, if it rains or, something like that. Like, because again, who's about to beat their face and then get in the pool and get all the way in it? Like, put their face, like, submerge their face in water. I always wish that there was a better analogy or whatever used. Not that that's an analogy, but a better, like, figure of speech. So, anywho, there's that. There's this thing of, like, the humiliation. Oh, I can't, like, it's so bizarre to me. But also, again, you're saying that if a woman puts on makeup and then jumps in the swimming pool, she's gonna look like no, right? So that still translates to you basically saying a woman that already doesn't have makeup on looks like no. But these are the women that you're supposedly defending. These are the women you're supposedly defending. And again, we could say she's saying in comparison to having the makeup on, if you jump in the swimming pool and it comes off, now you look like no, right? So let's say it's just strictly comparative purposes and not if you're always plain face and then you jump in the pool and with your plain face and you come out with your plain face, that's not ugly. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt and say that that's what's being said. Even then, if you're saying natural beauty trumps all, then why would you come out of the swimming pool looking like no? Then while drunk, she starts quoting Bible verses because, again, pick-me's love to have this moral superiority over you. And it's always performative. It's always to make men believe that they are more virtuous than other women. Let me tell you something. Your virtue doesn't go away because you put on some eyeliner. Your virtue does not go away because you enhance yourself. If the Lord wants you to find a partner, I would think that the Lord would also want you to equip yourself with the tools to look more desirable or different or whatever the case may be to find that partner. But since we want to, perform this moral superiority, Leviticus chapter 10 verse 9 reads, "Do not drink wine nor strong drink, thou nor thy sons with thee, when ye go into the tabernacle of the congregation, lest ye die. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations." So even though she's not going into a church, she is still going into a public setting, trying to preach and allegedly pass the gospel to some degree. And you're not supposed to do that while being drunk. Since we're, cherry picking the Bible. Smite the scalp off a haughty woman. Do not approach the congregation under the influence of alcohol. That is a statute forever. Meaning it still stands today. That's the King James Version, by the way. I don't know if the different versions have that, but that's what's in the King James Version in Leviticus chapter 10, verse 9.
You know what I'm saying? He wants this and he wants that and da-da-da-da. Do you really want to be that type of woman that's going to give him any and every motherfucking thing just to have a man that's going to pay your bills? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to put up with all of the bull or put up with the other women? Because most men that's like that, they can have any woman that they want. You know what I'm saying? Any woman that they want that wants a man that's going to do all of those things for them, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So
how I think about it is you're not any woman.
Any woman?
You're not any woman. You're saying he can have any woman, but you're not any woman. That's how I would feel. So where you going, baby? Nowhere.
You can go somewhere with a man who
I'm just saying.
Bullshit. Superficial ass bullshit. Yeah, that shit is superficial. You know what I'm saying? Some women, they got all the makeup and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, they wash all that shit off and they look like shit. You be seeing that shit on here all day long. They be looking like and then they pull the camera back and they got a whole weave, they got the lashes, they got this, and they be thinking they look good as fuck, but at the same time, that bitch jump in the swimming pool, she gonna be looking like, ugh, no.
Talking about a specific type of lifestyle, a specific type of thing, if it doesn't align with you and it doesn't call to you, leave it alone. Because it also doesn't align with me. But I don't hate other people who have that as their objective, because it makes more sense. If you're going to deal with your natural predator, you should get some sort of benefit from it. No? Or is that women having too much rights for you? Women fought for you to have the ability to get your on other people's platforms, other women's platforms, and talk smack to them. Your local Dusty didn't do that. Your local Dusty voted to take your reproductive rights away, if he voted at all. I just see a bunch of people that are immature and insecure. Because as a grown woman, why do you need another grown woman to approve of your lifestyle for you to be comfortable with it? Like, wait till you find out people can choose their own majors. Wait till you find out that 20 other women rejected your local Dusty that you're like letting borrow your car to go cheat on you. Everybody does not make the same choices as you. But ironically, others do make the same choices as you, because by having on eyelashes, lip gloss, whatever you have on, you're still enhancing yourself. Just because you don't do it to the degree that some people do it in the extremes that some people do it, especially on social media, that doesn't mean that you're not participating in the same things. But the pick-me's always have to set themselves apart. Yes, I wear fake eyelashes, but I'm not a haughty woman. Yes, I wear fake lashes, but I only hang out with men because women are drama. I only do this, I only do that. The reality is we are all expendable to men. Maybe not to individual men in our lives, whatever. But as a whole, all women are pretty much seen as expendable under misogyny's terms and conditions. So you're not actually fighting against other women. You're fighting for the ability to be seen, because you know, just like we know, that the goalpost constantly shifts. Look at what we're seeing with Cooking with Kaya right now. And I started on this before there was a lot of discourse about her online. But what you're disliking is not cooking with Kaya. Because she's playing into the male gaze's fantasy and getting a bag off of it, as she should. As I said, if you're going to deal with your natural predator, you should receive some type of benefit. Her benefit is views and monetization and endorsements. Okay? What you hate is not her. What you hate is the fact that for years now, we've been told, stop twerking, stop wearing fake eyelashes, don't get tattoos, don't wear skimpy Fashion Nova clothes, and all of this other stuff. And then she comes along and does it, and she gets praised for it because she's cooking, or at least that's what they claim. But the reality is, she strokes their egos. So if you're not going to do that, of course they're not going to like you. And of course they're going to relegate everything about you to how you appear. Meaning that if you put on all the same stuff that she puts on, but if you say, to hell with these niggas, they're going to call you a hair hat bitch, whatever. That's what they do. So your frustration isn't at her. It's at misogyny and the goalpost moving, and that's why you're supposed to decent your man.
Boneless makeup.
Your boneless makeup, your bad attitude, and your cruelty and disdain for black women. It's anti-black, it's misogynistic, and it's violent. Till next time.